Hello and welcome, sports fans, to this live video streaming event from Table Rock Sports Productions in partnership with our local school districts and outstanding sponsors who make these live presentations possible. I'm Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore, David Alvarez on the camera this evening from Brookings Harbor High School in Brookings, Oregon, over on the coast, and we thank you for joining us today. Welcome to Lithia Superstore pregame show, powered by Siskiyou Cellular in Southern Oregon and featuring the Brookings Harbor Bruins versus the Cascade Christian Challengers. We're pleased to bring you this game on TableRockSports.net in partnership with the Grace Cascade School District and our sponsor business partners. Joe Brett is the executive producer for this event. Our sponsors keep these events free for fans to enjoy. Please let them know you appreciate their support. Please help Table Rock Sports by subscribing to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, search Table Rock Sports and click on the red subscribe button. And thank you if you already have. Jim McCoy here, joined by Mark McLemore. Moments away from game time. They have a couple of different programs in a couple of different places, not unlike what we've seen the last couple of weeks with Douglas and with the Sutherland Bulldogs last week. That this Bruin team, one of the things you have to be encouraged about is last year, part of what kind of put a dent in their season was the fact that they were a little short on players. And between the things to kind of fold their season up in the middle of it. This year, though, we look at the Bruins roster, lots of guys on that team tonight, although a pretty young team.
Yeah, really a pretty young team, and I'm thinking that it's going to be an interesting year for them just to see how they progress as they go throughout the year. They didn't get to play much last year, so that obviously is going to affect their season this year a little bit. That losing a year of, just being out there playing. So it'll be interesting to see how things go for them this year going forward.
Well, we're just moments away from game time. A pleasant evening here in Brookings. The predicted temperature after nightfall will go down to about 55 degrees. So we're seeing conditions, Mark, that are a little bit more in keeping with fall in Oregon as opposed to the heat that we had last week where we were at 101 at kickoff.
Yeah, no doubt about that. It's going to be a much more pleasant evening, and I'm sure the football players will enjoy it even more than us, as they're the ones expending all the energy out here on the field, and won't have to do it in high 90s or degree temperatures that we saw at the beginning. Well, the first game was 101, I think, at kickoff, if I remember correctly.
Right,
so
right.
Much better today. Always better on the coast, however, but even back at home for the teams playing in the Rogue Valley, it's going to be a much cooler evening for football, more fall-like, as you mentioned. And over here it's just beautiful, clear skies, no smoke at all. Very nice evening for football. Our
current temperature here in Brookings, it's 61 degrees, and we have nothing but blue sky and just mere moments away from the coast. It's a great place to be on a September Friday night. But, Mark, the last couple of trips we've made over here have not been without some adventure along the way.
No, that's definitely true. And the last time we were over here, I remember they had the Chetco breeze coming in, and it was 90 degrees at kickoff. And, boy, bugs were in. It was a terrible, kind of weird evening. The Challengers took care of business, if I remember correctly, on that night. But it was just a weird temperature night for football.
Well, not only have we seen that, but there was another game where a deer runs out on the field.
Yeah, that's right. So the other time we were here, we did see a deer on the field that they kind of had to chase off. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight. We're looking across the way. We can see, a bird's nest on top of one of the light poles. And so, it is definitely a 3A football game.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad to bring it to you and look forward to seeing what holds in store for tonight's ball game. That the Challengers are riding a wave of momentum. What we'll do right now is we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll get you ready for the start of the ball game here on TableRockSports.net.
New phone?
Yeah, with US Cellular, I got to pick any phone that I wanted for free. And I was already a customer.
Any brand? With any size?
I got exactly what I wanted. It was great to have so many different options.
New and current customers can get any phone from any brand free, only at US Cellular.
New and current customers get any phone free at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive authorized agent for US Cellular. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
You find information about paying for medical treatment after a car crash? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
I just got the best deal at US Cellular. Just $29 for one line.
For the first month only, right? That's how they get you.
For as long as I want. Why so skeptical?
I was told she'd weigh 30 pounds.
Get unlimited data for just $29 per line, even just one, only at US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Get one line for just $29 at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive US Cellular authorized agent. Visit souscellular.com for details.
So what do you do when you can't work because you were injured on the job? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
We're moments away from game time. It is the Challengers versus the Bruins on TableRockSports.net. Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore. On the camera is David Alvarez. And we're looking forward to bringing to you Oregon 3A football action as the undefeated Challengers go up against a Bruins team in search of their first win of the 2022 campaign. The Bruins in blue tonight, wearing their blue uniforms with gold numerals, and the Challengers in their road whites out across the way from us. And everything. This just seems a little bit more like if there's such a thing as typical for Southern Oregon on a Friday night in September, that I think we're just about there.
Yeah, we're getting there for sure in a hurry, and it's nice to see the football weather come back. And I think we're all of us are ready for football weather and not that 100-degree stuff we've had all summer. And hopefully those fires are going to be out here shortly as well, and the smoke will all clear up, and it'll turn into a normal, quote-unquote, football season.
That would be awesome. We would look forward to that. This portion of our pregame show brought to you by Bill's Glass. Bill's Glass is the clear choice in Southern Oregon for almost 50 years. Locally owned, family run. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass. The captains gathered at the 50-yard line. We're going to see who gets it first. For the first couple of games of the season, the Challengers have ended up receiving it first, although I know if Coach Getman typically has his way, he likes to defer the opening kick and take it first in the second half. But we'll see. Sometimes, you see old traditions go by the wayside.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they decide. The coin's in the air out there. You can see that. And they're trying to decide. It looks like Brookings may have won the toss. He's talking to the Brookings captain. And anyway, it's going to be quite a game tonight, I think. These two teams, sort of as you mentioned, on the opposite end of the spectrum. So far, the Challengers 2-0 on the season. The Bruins 0-2. And so it's going to be a very interesting first quarter, I think, to see how these two teams match up. Usually in the first quarter and a half, you'll be able to see which team is going to take control of the football game. And so it'll be interesting to see how this first quarter goes. Both teams coming off of tough games last week. The Challengers with a big victory at home against Sutherland, 54-6. The Brookings Harbor Bruins played Lakeview here. Lakeview with that long road trip all the way over from Eastern Oregon. So that was an interesting trip for them. I'm sure they won 21-0 against the Brookings Harbor Bruins. So it'll be interesting to see how this first quarter goes, getting ready for the kickoff here. And it looks like the Challengers are going to kick it.
All right, and the Challengers will be moving from right to left from where we sit in the bleachers. And I know that our cameraman David Alvarez is going to have his hands a little bit full tonight. We've got all these posts here that he will be doing his best to try to work around. Right now, a lot of shadows on the field, but we won't see those a whole lot longer. The sun will come down, and the stadium lights will come up, and that will make things a lot easier as we bring you tonight's football game. Glad that you could join us. The hay's in the barn, and the work is done. Now it is time to play. Now back wearing his customary number 8 is Mason Hoffman.
Yeah, I got the full story on that, by the way. They don't have an 8 in the purple uniforms.
Oh.
So he will be wearing 51 this season in the purple uniforms and 8 in the white ones. So there you go. That's the full story.
Mystery solved.
Which is kind of weird that they don't have a number 8, but, I just told him, he needs to go buy himself a purple jersey and spray paint a number 8 on it.
And apparently the original football, not to the liking of the officials or Mr. Hoffman won, I'm not sure, but they've got that all sorted out, and he's got the ball there on the tee. Seth Valier back deep to receive.
Well, maybe they had the slippery football, and they didn't like that.
Maybe that's the one he used in warm-ups.
Remember, we did have a few fumbled kickoffs last week.
For sure. End-over-end kick, short by Hoffman. It will roll to one of the up men for the Brookings Harbor Bruins. Taking that as Kyler Christensen. And let's go ahead and meet the starting lineup for the Bruins offense. It'll be a team that has a lot of youngsters on it, but they've got leadership at the key positions.
And they're going to come out in the spread with 2 wide receivers on either side.
And Valier at quarterback. Oh, actually, that's Berger. First carry of the ball game. And that Challenger defense bottles them up for a loss. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup for the Brookings Harbor Bruins. We'll pull that up for you. Starting at quarterback will be senior Kyle Berger. He'll be joined in the backfield by Callan Christensen. Receivers are Gavin Kondaraki, Seth Valier, Cameron Hendricks, and Kyler Christensen. We'll get the line for you after this snap. So we'll bring that down. Berger, one of those seniors for Brookings Harbor, along with Christensen wearing number 8. First pass of the ball game complete, but there to quickly wrap them up for the Challengers. That looked like
that's Mason.
Mason Hoffman from his linebacker spot.
Yeah, nice job by Mason getting out wide on that little wide receiver screen and making a nice play for just a couple of yard gain.
Offensive line for the Bruins, Colton Hill, Zoe Lynn Collins, Cameron Brown, Michael Veritek, and Raphael Cavas.
And you can see this time out the Bruins with trips to the wide side of the field and a single receiver down here at the bottom. 3rd and about 8.
Berger dropping back, looking to throw. Short hops a pass. Actually, the nearest man to the ball was Challenger linebacker Cole Shields. That'll bring up 4th down.
Looks like the Bruins bringing out the punt team. So the Challengers with an early stop here on 3rd down and 8.
Challenger defense getting out to the start they want.
So Brody Sample and Tyler Almacy back deep for the Challengers to receive the punt.
And they'll be standing at their own 35-yard line.
In the house today. Solis Pizza in the house. $3 a slice. Go get it before they run out.
Valier takes the snap, but we have laundry on the field.
And it's a false start, it looks like, against the Bruins.
So first penalty called of the ball game. We're just into this first offensive series for the Bruins. So it'll be a fourth and a little bit longer.
Yeah, probably about 13. Al Macy and Sample move up to the Challenger 40.
So Challengers be getting good field position out of this once they get the ball. Valier. And the punt is blocked. It's loose on the turf, and there to fall on it. It always seems like something happening. He's right around it and recovering it for the Challengers, Cameron Ragu.
Punt blocked by Cole Shields, got a hand on that. He's the one that tipped it, and Challengers able to fall on it there and, get themselves some great field position down at the Bruin 35.
Challenger starting lineup for you. Ashton Moody at quarterback. Cameron Ragu in for Tristan Wallace this evening. Receivers, Tyler Almacy, Brody Sample, Peyton Maurer, Christopher Freilich. The line, Turi, Moses, Daniel Nearing, Liam Bonatti, and Jack Nips. First play from scrimmage. They'll go ahead and swing it over to Almacy. Almacy has running room up the sideline. And he'll get inside the 20-yard line. So Challengers off to a good start here if you're a Challenger fan.
Yeah, about an 18-yard gain on first down makes it a 1st and 10 right at the 20.
The Challengers already into the red zone. After this next step, we'll get the Bruins defense for you. Going in motion is Almacy. He works toward the edge, gets some good blocking there. He's going to run up the sideline. Touchdown, Challengers.
20-yard touchdown for Almacy on the end around, but there's a hold against the Challengers. This one's coming back.
So we'll take that one off the board.
And it'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. I'm not sure exactly where the spot of the foul is. Should not be from the line of scrimmage. Let's see where the flag was thrown at. It was thrown at looks like down around the 15-yard line. So it'll be 10 yards back from the 15-yard line, back to the 25, and it'll be 1st and 10 Challengers, or 1st and 15, Challengers.
And this has been one area where the Challengers have gotten off to a relatively good start this year, as they've managed to keep the penalties to a minimum, at least in their first couple of games. 1st and 15, Moody the quarterback. He'll hand to Ragu. Ragu takes it to the outside, has a path, has an opening. And the Challengers' second leading rusher with 80 yards on the season.
He's down to about the 3-yard line. 22-yard gain for Ragu on 1st and 15.
Defense for the Bruins. Colton Hill, Cameron Brown, Michael Veritek, and Rafael Cavas are the linemen. Callan Christensen, Kyle Berger, Clayton Larios, Uriel Cortez, the linebackers. The defensive backs, Valier, Kyler Christensen, and Gavin Kondaraki. First and goal at the 4.
Pitch play to Brody.
Brody
Touchdown.
Sample scoops toward the end zone. Touchdown, Challengers.
Three-yard touchdown run by Brody Sample gets the Challengers on the board.
All right, let's see if we can't capture that replay for you. They pitch it to Sample, and Sample, you can see to the outside, he has nothing but real estate in front of him to pick up that Challenger touchdown as they strike first this evening.
Jeez.
Mason Hoffman in with a point after attempt.
And what do we have? False start against the Challengers.
Penalty against the offense. Point after will be.
So they'll add a little bit of a degree of difficulty for young Mr. Hoffman. He is a junior for Cascade, but this is his first year handling the place kicking chores.
Yeah, so and as you mentioned it, Brody with that speed around the corner, able to get the edge. And once he gets the edge, you're not going to catch him on that touchdown run. So good play call and nice speed around the edge by Brody Sample.
For Hoffman, the kick is up, and it is good. 9:34 to go in the first quarter of play. The Challengers lead in this one by a score of 7-0. We'll be right back after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherm's are proud to be part of your community.
We have thousands of customers in our stores every day, and our checkers know a lot of them on a first-name basis. They tend to enjoy what they do, and they love it, so it reflects in how they treat the customer.
If you live anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a Sherm's store near you. We hope to see you soon.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
Fuel up for your race day adventures with Pinnacle 365. Hit for your early morning caffeine fix to help you get off to a good start and be rewarded with free motivation. Stay hydrated as you ride into turn 2. And if fountain drinks are your thing, get your 6th free.
Challengers kicking it away to the Bruins. Another short kick by Cascade.
Really short. I think they're going to get it at the 40-yard line.
So the Bruins get good field position out of this.
It's something the Challengers are really going to have to find someone that can kick off, because those kind of kickoffs are going to hurt them later in the season if they play, better teams. You don't want to give them that good a field position.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do to kind of address that situation.
I mean, the field goal was. The extra point was good. He got some good height, good distance on that, but that kickoff, he's still struggling with figuring that out. Hopefully, Mason will get that figured out. Maybe that's the answer.
Well, there would be a great idea, and I'm sure Mason would be more than happy to try to work that on his own.
Yep.
End of the ball game, split wide to the left is Luke Wilson, who caught a touchdown reception last week.
And a delay of game against the Brookings Bruins. So their second penalty of the game.
So we've seen the whistles come out early in this ball game. Looking at the Brookings Harbor defense. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go ahead and get back to action here. Looks like they're going to waste no time and
come right up to the line of scrimmage.
Yes. So let's go ahead and get to that.
Fumble.
Fumble on the play. And a recovery by the Challengers.
And they tried to run a fly sweep that time, and I did not see who it was, but one of the Challenger defensive linemen was in the backfield and almost picked off that handoff. He was right at the point of attack, or the point of handoff, and trying to give the ball, it looked like, to Valeri on the end around.
Well, and you got to imagine the poor quarterback Berger's like he's getting ready to hand the ball off. It's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, it was great penetration by that Challenger defense. It really caused that turnover.
Now they're +8, just 3 games in the season in the giveaway takeaway category. Ashton Moody with Ragu behind him. He's got running room up the middle. Mark, the block is so good there. I think I could run through that.
Yeah, that was a nice hole that time for Ragu. Right up the middle. Give him 12 yards on the carry and a Challenger first down.
Props to that offensive line for the Challengers. Number 70 you see is Jack Nips, Matt Moses on his side, Daniel Nearing at center. So you have a lefty quarterback and a lefty center.
There you go. That should just work out right.
Then you have Liam Bonatti over there. And over to his right. Jackson Turi. Moody completes the pass to Almacy. Almacy makes the catch, moves it forward.
And another 12-yard gain for the Challengers and another first down as Almacy makes the nice reception there. Good throw that time. Good read by Ashton Moody.
Into the ball game, checking into the Challenger backfield, Cole Shields. Tristan Wallace looked like he had a little bit of an ankle issue. And so that'll provide opportunity for the number 2 and number 3 guy. Saw Peyton Maurer in motion. And Shields gets all twisted up there, just past the line of scrimmage, making the stop. Raphael Cavaus, 5'10", 175-pound senior for Brookings Harbor.
Yeah, give Challengers down around the 6-yard line now.
Twin receivers to either side of the line for Cascade. Moody hands to Shields.
Now he keeps it himself.
They go. And he runs it through.
Touchdown.
And he scores.
So Ashton Moody with a 6-yard run puts the Challengers on the board again. Just like that.
So the Challengers doing a great job this evening of, and Moody, that's the second time on a touchdown this year where he's done a great job of selling the handoff.
And keeping it himself.
13-0 your score right now. Trying to tack on the point after is Hoffman.
And he got it.
He just did get it. And the Challengers now up 14-0 in this ball game. We'll go ahead and keep it right here for now and use this opportunity to thank those that helped make tonight's video stream possible. Great sponsors keep the games coming for you, including Conger Morris Funeral Directors with a full range of planning and hometown heartfelt help through a difficult process. And by Travel Medford and Sport Ground, where the West Coast comes to play. Well, certainly the Challengers have come to play this evening. Everything's coming up roses for them this evening thus far.
Yeah, blocked punt after Brookings touchdown to start the game on their first possession. Now blocked punt turns into another Challenger touchdown, and they're quickly up 14-0 here with 7:48 to go in the first quarter, and Mason Hoffman about to kick it off again.
Hoffman, short end over end kick, but gets a little bit better distance this time. A little bit of problem handling the football, and the Challengers fall on it. It seems like I've seen this movie before, Mark.
Yeah. That was one of those kickoffs that took a really funny bounce, especially, you get on these grass surfaces, and what you can see happen a lot with the grass surfaces is when that ball hits the ground, you don't know where it's going to go, and that time it just took off on the Brookings Harbor Bruins, and the Challengers able to get down there and cover it up, recover another fumble for another first down, get themselves the football back.
Challengers on the move with 7:44 to go, knocking on the door, trying to pick up their third score of the evening. Moody drops back, looks to throw, looking down the middle for Christopher Freilich. Pass falls incomplete, and it'll be second down and 10. Mark, I'm going to turn over to you for a second while I tend to a technical thing here for a moment.
Okay. So nice job by that Challenger kickoff coverage team again of getting that football back, and it's just amazing how that's happened now in the last two games where the Challengers have recovered kickoffs that have been muffed by the other team on those short kicks that tend to bounce all around. It's been quite a deal for that Challenger offense. Almacy goes in motion. Moody to throw. He's got Brody Sample down at the 5-yard line. And hopefully we're still online after that. So a nice throw that time by Moody to Brody Sample. Challengers pick up about 12 yards and a first down down at about the 4-yard line.
We had a camera that almost tried to go to sleep on us. And then we trip over a whole bunch of stuff in the process. But now it's a first and goal for the Challengers down at the 5-yard line. And the Challengers.
Liam Bonatti with the carry.
I think that must be their jumbo package.
The really jumbo package. And Bonatti in there at the fullback. Let's call him a fullback. I'm not going to call him a tailback.
No. But you know what? He's a senior. He's put that work in. You know, it's not a glamorous life those linemen lead.
3 yards on the carry. Puts him down at the 1-yard line.
They'll hand the ball to Bonatti.
And he scores.
And he scores. Touchdown, Challengers. Liam Bonatti, starting right guard, gets a chance to experience the glamorous life of the Challengers go up 20-0.
Yeah, I think it looked like he was most concerned about holding onto the football, as he should be. And he picks up the 1-yard touchdown run. The Challengers scoring early and often here in this one, as they now lead it 21-0 on another extra point, successful extra point by Mason.
Off at the distance, we see Challenger assistant Marty Maurer going out, and a little chest bump for Bonatti as the Challengers now lead in the ball game by a score of 21-0. What we'll do right now is take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll be back with more football action right here on TableRockSports.net.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind, or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore? So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
It's Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Gladiator 4x4s or test drive a new 22 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4.
Back at Brookings Harbor, Challengers almost halfway through the first quarter, and they're up 21-0. Mason Hoffman going to try a little bit different approach on the kick, and it's taken by Vallier. He's going to go ahead and scramble his way over to the far sideline, up past the 40, up to near the 45. So good field position for the Bruins as they try to come up with an answer here in the first quarter.
Yeah, nice job that time by the Bruins. They moved their entire team. They've seen that Mason hasn't been kicking that ball very far down the field, so they moved their entire return setup up the field that time, not leaving any holes in it, as the last time the Challenger took advantage of how they were kind of spread out. That time they weren't spread out that way, and they were able to catch the kickoff, and a nice return that time for good field position, clear out at the, as you mentioned, almost a 45-yard line. But it looks like there is going to be a holding call against the Bruins on the return that's going to back them up 10 from there.
Penalty against the Bruins will move them back.
So they'll go ahead and walk this one off, and Mark, it's almost like we're seeing a near virtual rerun of what we saw last week with Sutherland in terms of the opposition running into an opportunistic, aggressive Challenger defense and special teams play that is causing turnovers.
Absolutely. So far, the blocked punt, the fumbled kickoff return, that both of which have gone the Challengers' way.
Running the ball is Christensen.
About 9 yards, waiting on the spot.
Looks like that should be just about a 9-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, nice run that time. Good blocking. Good blocking by that offensive line, and best looking play that Brookings has run so far.
Bruins, like so many of the teams in our league and really around the state, running that spread formation with 4 receivers and a single setback.
Well, and what we've seen with some of those teams is they just spread you out so they can run the football. And so far we haven't really seen Brookings throw the ball down the field. There's another nice running play for them.
Kyle Berger, the quarterback, and this is a kid that we've seen around quite a bit the last couple of years. This his senior season. For Berger, 5'8", 160-pound player. Not the biggest guy you'll ever find playing this position, but I think we've just seen one of the reasons why he has such value for Brookings Harbor in that position.
Yeah, and part of what they're doing back there at the Bruins is they've got it's almost like the old wing T, except the quarterback's in the shotgun. And so they've got 2 backs beside him, and so they can go either way with that handoff, or he can keep it himself. And here he is keeping it himself again on first down, picking up about 5 yards.
Number 14, Kyle Berger with that carry.
Kyle Berger.
And so if you're the Challenger defense, you have to stay home. Everybody's got to play their assignment because the ball could be handed to any one of those 2 backs, or the quarterback can keep it around the end as he's done the last 2 plays. So Challenger defense needs to be a little more disciplined, and especially the guys on the edges cannot allow that quarterback to get outside the containment. So let's see if the Challengers kind of clean this up as they go along here. The Bruins with a couple of nice first downs here in this drive.
So trying to work on getting a little bit of momentum in their direction. Berger out of the shotgun. 2 backs set. The Challengers with some pushback on that play. And I'll tell you what, when you try to run anything in the direction of Jackson Turi, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, that's kind of a mistake, if you know what I mean.
I think in a lot of ways, at least in terms of how he plays, he's something of a leader on that Challenger defense. It just, the term that Coach Morris used for Kyle Reese in basketball, I think applies to Turi in football, and that he's a menace.
Yeah, he absolutely is, and you want to run away from him if you can.
3rd down and 6, dropping back is Berger. Berger getting some pressure, but releases the screen pass, and it is complete to receiver Kyler Christensen. Looks like he'll be just a little bit short of a first down.
Yeah, bring down. He got about 3 yards on that play. Bring up 4th and 2. And if you're the Bruins, you're on the you're in Challenger territory here, just over midfield at the Challenger 43. I would think that they're going to go for it here. Let's see. It looks like they're kind of all coming over to the sideline, trying to decide what's going to happen.
Well, and you think about the way, play calling is done and brought into the game is we've seen it change so much over the years, Mark. The old, there used to be the old traditional huddle, and now, after a little bit of discussion, apparently they need more time. Coach Bavaro and his staff.
I think they were just trying to run the clock down a little bit there before they called timeout.
So, a timeout called. That'll give us an opportunity to break away and recognize our sponsors, and we'll be right back on the other side of this 60-second timeout.
It's game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
We love our sports here.
It's our responsibility to keep them great. And we need you to know your role.
You can be a player.
You can be a coach. You can be a spectator.
Or an official.
But you only get to be one.
Know your role.
Parents, release your kid to the game.
It's my experience.
Don't yell at the refs. They have a hard job.
Know your role.
Players, respect your opponents.
Love to play, win or lose.
Know your role.
So what do when you get injured in a motorcycle accident and you need legal help? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Back here at Brookings Harbor. 2:35 to go in the first quarter of play. Berger dropping back, looking to throw. Pressure from Turi. He's looking downfield, but he'll have to throw this one away. And the Challengers succeed in getting the Bruins to turn it over on downs.
So a nice job by the Challenger defense. Good coverage down the field. Really nowhere for Berger to go with that football, and he just unloads it off to the sideline. And for the Challengers, they'll get it back after the turnover on downs. So a pump block for the Challengers, a turnover on downs, and a recovered kickoff that was muffed by the Bruins, all showing you just how tough that Challenger defense and special teams has been this year.
21-0 ball game with 2:28 left to go in the first quarter of play. And
timeout Bruins.
So Brookings Harbor needing to burn their second timeout of the quarter.
Not sure that they had 11 guys on the field, I think was the problem there.
And I think probably you want to take every one that you're allowed if you're in the Bruins position taking on the Challengers.
Absolutely.
For almost 50 years, Bill's Glass has been the clear choice in Southern Oregon for your home, vehicle, or business needs. Locally owned and family run, Bill's Glass supports our schools and communities. We've talked a little bit about it, and I'm warming the arm up, getting ready for it. Cornhole players.
No, I thought you were going to talk about playing quarterback for the Cowboys. You know, they do need one.
Yeah, the local papers. Yeah, I hear what they're saying these days. It's like Cowboy fans, if you live in Dallas and you have a jersey, practices at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Sorry. You were talking about cornhole. Sorry. I couldn't resist there.
Well, I tell you what, we were talking about it on the trip over here, Mark, that the Challengers with an embarrassment of riches at that position, not only with their varsity guys, as we're seeing their number 2 man start to open the season. Here's Freilich with the football, and he picks up first down yardage and more. But, you think about it. Ashton Moody, number 2 guy, starting at quarterback to open the season. Keith Reed will be back soon. And then you have guys at the JV level like Caleb Scaglione and Derek Farmer.
Yeah, they got you mentioned an embarrassment of riches. They definitely have it. And that time, 23-yard end around to Christopher Freilich for a Challenger first down. The Challengers right back in business in Bruins territory. But there is what? What's the call? I missed it. A block in the back, I think is what he said.
Okay.
Against the Challengers, which will bring it back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
So we've seen a little bit of laundry out here on the field this evening.
The Challengers with their second penalty, and there have been 3 so far on the Bruins.
And sometimes it seems like in a game like this that penalties can become contagious.
True. Challengers end up picking up about 6 yards on the play after the penalty.
Which is better than going the other direction. Moody. Ragu behind him. Twins, either side of the line, but now we have Sample going in motion. Pass play over to the right side. Well played defensively by the Bruins. And that was broken up by Christensen.
Yeah, Christensen over there. Nice play on the broke-up pass. Looked like Moody was looking for Maurer out there in his wide receiver spot. First time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah, I think maybe he might have looked him in just a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. You can't stare those receivers down or those defensive backs will figure out where you're going to throw that one.
In motion, Sample. Now Moody gets a little bit of operating room, looks downfield. He's looking for his stepbrother, Luke Wilson.
And Wilson's got to catch that football. That was right in his hands.
Through the fingertips it goes. And that will bring up a 3rd down and 5.
A good-looking play that time. I liked how he rolls out that to his left and made a throw right on the money to Wilson. Not able to come up with it, and we don't see that along. Usually those challenger receivers with a good hand. So 3rd and 5 now for the Cascade Christian.
2:12 left to go in the first. Challengers on your John L. Scott scoreboard. Up 21-0. Wilson in motion. The hand to Ragu. And he shakes and bakes out of the backfield, works his way deeper into, and he keeps his feet. And he picks up a challenger first down and then some.
Yeah, 30 yards on the run by Ragu. And I tell you what, he's tough to bring down once he gets those legs churning. And another big first down for the Challengers deep in Bruin territory.
A playmaker for Cascade, even as a freshman, mostly on the defensive side of the ball, but we've seen him not only opportunistic defensively and a real ball hawk, but he's shown us a lot on the offensive side of the ball this year. He's a great compliment, though, to Wallace and Shields.
Yeah, absolutely. Runs very straight up, but makes really nice cuts in the hole and is able to break himself into open space very often and pick up big gains, big chunks of yardage.
1st and 10 at the 30. Moody looking over into the corner.
For Maurer, and he did not catch it. So looked like it was a pretty well thrown ball. Maurer just not able to come up with it. He might have been out of bounds. It was right on the sideline over there on the far side. A little hard for us to tell.
Yeah, our cameraman David's got a little bit of an obstacle course to work with tonight with the posts for the covering, which on any given night here in Brookings, you're grateful to be covered over here on the coast. 2nd down and 10 for the Challengers. A little pitch play to Ragu. Ragu slips a would-be Bruin tackler.
Picks up about 6 or 7 yards. Is there more laundry on the field? Nope, doesn't look like it.
So a nice play by Cameron Ragu. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 3, we'll call it. Inside a minute to go and counting in the first quarter of play. Cascade Christian up 21-0 thus far in the game. Ragu takes the handoff. He has blockers, and he's just one of those guys that just explodes out of the backfield.
Yeah, absolutely does.
Michael Veritek making the tackle.
Well, he's got speed, and like I said before, he makes some good cuts inside the hole to really get himself going as he picks up about 16 yards on that one and gets the Challengers 1st and goal from the 9.
1st and goal at the Bruin 9. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Moody.
To Ragu again, breaks a tackle.
And he powers forward.
Looks like he's down to about the 4-yard line.
So the Challengers 5 yards closer as a result of the play.
We get spoiled with the turf over at USL. With all the good markings on it where we can tell what yard line they're on and all that stuff. We go to some of these places where the field isn't as well marked, and we're kind of spoiled.
Yes, we are. We're 8 seconds to go here in the first quarter of play. And, David, I think I'll have you go ahead and pan the shot over onto the big Bruin, I guess you call it. Mark, you had it described well. What does this creature, this entrance, look like to you?
It's from Aladdin, right?
Yeah.
The what is that called? The Cave of Wonder, right?
The Cave of
Wonder from Aladdin. That's what it looks like to me. What do you think?
I would say that looks like a pretty accurate assessment myself. Of course, the problem with it is that being inflatable, you just want to walk over there with a little pin and go poop.
Yeah. Now the challengers are going to move to the other end of the field as the quarter ends.
So we're at the end of the first quarter of play. It's been all challengers thus far, a 21-0 ball game. We'll pause for messages, and then we'll be right back after this timeout on TableRockSports.net.
Dear Dad, today was hard. You know how much I love you, and you know how much I love sports. I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love to play, and I love my team. I want us both to enjoy the game, win or lose. But we can't if you always lose your temper. I hope you can cheer for me and the other players. It's about more than just the score. It's about us all enjoying the experience. I hope you can join me for my next game. I really want you to be there. Love, Katie.
Start of the second quarter, challengers in a 2nd and goal. Ball down at the, they're going to say down at the 1 yard line.
It looks like it's about the 4, Jim.
All right.
It's a little hard to tell, as we've been saying.
Yeah.
Just over the 5 yard line, so about 4.5 here.
Ragu in the backfield. The man behind Moody. Moody looking left, and he's going to go ahead and take off and run it himself. And it's a touchdown.
But it's coming back. Holding against the challengers down around the 5 yard line.
So the challengers, with about as many penalties here in the first half as we ordinarily see in a game, but you're looking at the numbers from the first quarter, and I think they pretty accurately, along with the score, tell the story.
Yeah, challengers 156 yards of offense in that first quarter, 117 on the ground and 39 through the air. And the Bruins, 24 on the ground, just 5 through the air, just 29 yards of offense in that first quarter. Challengers have had the ball most of the first quarter as well after a blocked punt, a muffed kickoff by the Bruins have given the challengers the ball back, and they've been able to advance it in every case down to the end zone. And
Ragu with the football. He cuts it to the outside, and he gets down to the 1 yard line. So Ragu getting it all back.
Yeah, on one play, Ragu with a big 14-yard run to get most of it back. Yeah, that was a nice hit at the goal line to keep him from getting in because he was almost in. He's clear down to the 1.
So 3rd and goal at the 1. Opening series of the second quarter of play. Challengers knocking on the door, trying to make it a 28-0 ball game. They'll hand it to Ragu, and he'll walk it right in. Touchdown, Challengers.
So Ragu, again, a 1 yard touchdown run. Actually, that is his first touchdown. Sample ran in the first one, Moody with the second one, Panati with the third one. And now Ragu gets his turn.
Cameron Ragu came into the ball game with 80 yards rushing on the season. Quite a performance against Douglas to open the season. 4 touchdowns in that ball game. Mason Hoffman delivers the point after attempt, and it's good. 11:02 left to go in the half. Challengers lead this one 28-0. We'll be right back after these messages.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of, and it allows your service to be.
Challengers kick it away. Valier with the return. And it'll be Bruin football.
At about their own 31-yard line, it looks like. 30-31, right in that area. 10:54 to go in this one. Challengers lead at 28-0, and you said it earlier. It's really gone the Challengers away from the very get-go.
Well, and again, this is another one of those ball games where we can't necessarily say that the Bruins haven't been able to move the football and had their moments, but big plays have been the big difference maker in terms of delivering the margin that we presently have.
Yeah, Brody Sample with a nice tackle on the edge there. I think that was Berger with the carry from his quarterback spot on the keeper, and Brody Sample was not going to let him get around the edge that time, as he's had a couple of big runs on the edge tonight, but Brody there to make a tackle for no gain.
Now, it seems like I recall, Mark, that we saw him play in the secondary before, but this year, defensively, doing a great job for Coach Getman playing linebacker.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a good core he's got back there with Brendan Van Wart, Mason Hoffman, Cole Shields, and Wallace does some good things. Of course, he's out of action tonight.
Yeah, Wallace usually back there with him. And then remember also, you've got the guy playing quarterback right now that also plays linebacker, typically when Keith Reed is healthy.
And it looks like from everything that we have seen in terms of reports recently that the rehabilitation is going well and that he should be back in action soon. Well, we were talking about cornhole a little bit earlier. For you cornhole players, get ready for the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's 2022 Cornhole Classic. That's going to be coming up October 8th and 9th at the Expo's Olsrud Arena. A $6,000 purse is up for grabs with entry fees just $100 per team and 12 games guaranteed. Go to travelmedford.org to get in the game. It's funny, the things that have kind of become things the last few years, whether it's cornhole or another thing you see these days is pickleball.
Yep. Yeah, pickleball, absolutely a huge thing. Courts are showing up everywhere.
Yes.
Around Medford. And, yeah. And it's a game everybody can play, you know, both of those games. So that's, I think, why they're becoming more popular is they're...
So you mean even I can play it?
You can.
Well, right. Look out, world. All right, it's 2nd and 10 now for the Bruins at their own 30-yard line. 10:17 to go in the first half of play. Berger out of a two-back set.
I think
and he's going to keep
it again.
And he gets just outside the 40-yard line, right about the neighborhood of the 40-yard line, and we have a flag come out late.
Which is always a concern.
Sometimes you get the feeling that either there's a little bit of extracurricular activity.
Well, I think that's what that's got to be in that particular case.
I'll have to wait and see you. And the penalty call against the Bruins. So that good work there by Kyle Berger on the last play.
I'm curious. I missed the call. Did you see what it was? Was it a hold or was it a personal foul?
I believe it was
as
a
late as it was.
foul.
It's usually a personal foul, would be my guess. And there's some discussion going on, which always reminds you of the commercial where the referees are talking, right? And the mic's on.
You go all the way back to the 70s. Yeah, you're talking about the guy, my broker's E.F. Hutton.
Yeah, exactly.
And the next thing you know, the stadium goes dead quiet.
And it is a personal foul penalty against Brookings. So that's going to be a big 15-yard penalty against the Bruins and take them all the way back inside their 20.
So suddenly, what once looked like
2nd and 6 looks like 2nd and 26.
Let's adjust that there. Now, 2nd and 21. There we go.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. Brookings.
And
running into a wall.
Well, running into Cole Shields. Again, Cole Shields knifing through the offensive line and ending up in the backfield as the handoff is being made. And another tackle for loss for the Challenger defense. And now it's going to be 3rd down. And there's the 25 we had a minute ago. So a loss of 4 on the play. And that Challenger defense is looking pretty good so far this season in general.
Yes, they have. Well, just making big plays everywhere when they have to, but also just those solid fundamental plays as well.
No, it is 4th down. Excuse me. They just changed it. So I guess I was correct in my first opinion. And it looks like Brookings going to punt the football.
So Valier, who had his first attempt blocked, gets this one away. Takes a Challenger bounce, and they get a short field as they come back on offense.
At the 37 of Brookings Harbor. And 1st and 10 now for the Challengers, leading 28-0. 9 minutes to go here in the 3 minutes here to go in the second quarter.
So Challengers having it all their way. 5 minutes to go in the half. Shields will come in as the single set back. Split wide to the near side of the field. At the bottom of your screen is Peyton Maurer. Shields takes the carry. He has an opening, and he explodes through the hole, and it's another Challenger 1st down. As Shields gets the Challengers in the red zone.
26 yards on the carry for Shields, right up the middle. Makes one nice cut in the hole, and that really broke it open for him.
So he may be their power guy, but he's far from a plow horse.
Yeah, that's true. 157 yards now on the ground in the first half for the Challengers as they have been able to run the football at will here against. Nice tackle that time, shoestring tackle by one of the Bruins. Keeps that was Shields that time from getting in the end zone.
So good defensive play by the Bruins. Brings us to a 2nd down and about 5. Challengers knocking on the door midway through the second quarter of play. Give this to Shields. Shields powers his way up the middle, and he's in.
5-yard touchdown run by Shields puts the Challengers back on the board.
So Shields, you can see here, he just did nothing fancy here. He just bowls his way up the middle. That Challenger line giving him the help that he needs to punch it in. So our score 34-0. And here's Hoffman with a point after attempt. The kick is up and it is good. 7:46 left to go in the first half of play. The Challengers lead 35-0. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back with more here on TableRockSports.net.
What do you do when you don't know the first step in applying for Social Security disability? It's easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with crispy, crunchy chicken's mouth-watering chicken and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
There's a time machine that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
So the kick taken at the 18-yard line, that was actually one of Mason's better kicks of the evening, but
Challengers are off sides, and so they're going to move him back 5 and make him kick it again.
And then as the crowd select off and chant, you can't do that. So the Challengers will do it again, and shout out to our cameraman, David Alvarez, tonight working around these poles here at the stadium. We know, folks, there will be just moments of time where those silly things can be in your way, and there's really not a lot you can do about it.
No, we're kind of where they told us to go as far as our location in the grandstand. So
really about the only alternative would be down at field level, but then you have a whole new set of problems.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to see the game very well. So
you're going to see the sidelines really well.
And the backs of the players' jerseys.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what we got to work with, and we're working with it just fine so far.
That's showbiz. So another good little kickoff there by Mason Hoffman. But Valier doing a nice job on the return. And then right about the 41-yard line, he runs into a wall. That wall has a name, and it is Cole Shields.
Yeah, Cole Shields playing good on both sides of the ball. He just got that touchdown a second ago, and he hustles back down on the kickoff coverage to make a stop at the 41. The Bruins got some pretty good field position here with 7:41 to go in the game. Challengers lead at 35-0.
I'm thinking probably if you're the Coach Bavaro and the Bruins Brain Trust of the Challengers, you would say they are who we thought they were.
Yeah, the Challengers just, a really skilled, really experienced team this year. A lot of guys back from last year's squad. I think 18 players who played last year, and they've just done a great job of really taking care of business here.
Trying to get to the edge for Brookings Harbor is Berger.
And Van Wert on the tackle. And he had help from somebody. I didn't catch that. Did you see who that was?
It looked like he might have had a little help from Ragu. Yeah. But Van Wert coming into the ball game with 15 tackles on the year. Leading tackler for the Challengers defensively.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for the Bruins.
So 2nd and 10. 6:55 to go in the half. Berger looking to throw, but he has Sample bearing down on him. And Ragu almost picks it off.
Yeah, trying to throw it downfield to his wide receiver, Voltaire, and just not able to get it off before he takes a hit from one of the challengers. Nice pressure by the challenger defense that time.
Well,
forcing the incompletion and almost an interception.
Well, that's the thing about pressure. It makes you do things you don't want to do.
That's so true, especially when you see it right in your face, like
yeah,
like he did there.
And that challenger defense swarming. And, okay. I got to tell you, I saw the flag there, and
not surprised.
You can't disagree with that.
Nope.
It just,
That one's going to be on the challengers.
Tackling is one thing, but they're not going to let you do a body slam like that.
Well, and not only that, it's after the whistle. If you heard the whistles,
yeah,
you just can't do that. So Cole Shields is going to get penalized there for the challengers, and that'll be a 15-yard personal foul penalty, I think, against Cascade Christian.
And my guess is he's going to be having a little discussion with Mike Shawn about that, and it won't happen again.
And it is the 15-yard variety.
So they'll walk the penalty off against Cascade Christian.
And Brookings will pick up a first down, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the, looks like the challenger 45. Yeah, the challenger 45.
So that'll move the sticks for the Bruins.
Just the second first down in the first half for Brookings, as that challenger defense has been vicious, and they've been putting a lot of pressure on Berger and also really stopping that running game. As you can see what the Bruins are trying to do with a little misdirection in the backfield. Berger reading and trying to hand off to one of the backs and or keeping it himself. But so far the challengers have been staying home and playing their gaps and doing a good job of limiting the run game. So far only 24 yards on the ground by Brookings Harbor in the first half.
Little problem with the snap. Berger does the one thing that a quarterback can do under the circumstances. You smother it and fall on it.
And live to play another play.
A bad snap, moving the Bruins backwards.
And that 13-yard loss makes it 2nd now and 23 from the from the Bruin 43. 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Challengers lead at 35-0. Bruins have had trouble passing the football so far. Just 2 completions in 5 attempts for 5 yards in the first half. That, again, the challenger defense has just been overwhelming Berger in the backfield, putting pressure on him, on the receivers as well, and the running backs.
Having a little bit of trouble with the football is Berger.
And he ends up picking it up and losing another probably 4 yards on the play.
You see Daniel Naring in the vicinity of the ball. But it seems like, no matter where the Bruins go, there's a whole host of white jerseys.
White jerseys fall on the football. So that is something Coach Shawn will be very happy with.
And so now the result of the play is a 3rd down and 27 for the Bruins with 4:55 left to go in the first half. Go with a 2-back set behind the quarterback Berger. Berger has some pressure bearing down on him. And the challengers with another solid defensive play. Over there for Cascade Christian.
Was that Bryson Jackson, I think, on the play?
Bryson Jackson out on the play. He missed last week due to an ankle injury. Saw him yesterday after chapel, and he said he'd be ready to go again today, and obviously he is.
Another 5-yard loss for Brookings. And The Challenger defense just overwhelming the Bruins at this point.
So they get ready to kick it away. Vallier gets away. Good kick there. To take it is Sample. Sample comes to the near side, breaks a tackle, and he works his way out past midfield to about the 44-yard line.
Yeah, nice return that time by Sample. And the Challengers get the football back here with 3:41 to go in the first half. And in good field position at the Bruin 44.
It's all Challengers all the time, both sides of the ball this evening. Moody with some success throwing it, but a lot of the recipe tonight has called for
the ground game.
Running right over you.
Yeah, it really has been so far.
Ragu in at running back. Now a little pass to Maurer. Maurer makes the catch. He has running room. Takes it to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Challenger.
44-yard pass play to Maurer from Moody. And the Challengers are back on the board again. And a nice run that time by Peyton Maurer as he finds that crack and exploits it. Definitely getting north and south up the field for the Challenger touchdown.
So Peyton Maurer with the touchdown reception. He gets into the act this evening. And he's just been one of those guys that has given the Challengers game-by-game growth. And the point after attempt by Hoffman is good. 3:30 left to go in the half. We'll take a timeout and we'll be back in 60 seconds.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Enjoy the patio weather and a brand new menu at Tap Rock Northwest Grill, where friends and family gather and memories are made. Come visit us today or visit our website.
Kick by Hoffman. Well, he's getting plenty of practice tonight.
Fair caught at the 30-yard line.
Now we've got the replay on the touchdown catch by Maurer. Let's show that to you. So Moody, you can just look over there, and then the receivers to the outside give him some good blocking, and then Maurer just takes care of the rest.
Yeah, finds that little seam and exploits it all the way to the end zone.
Back to action. 1st and 10 for the Bruins. 42-0 ball game. And you can just see Van Wart coming up to that line looking like a hungry wolf.
Looking like they're going to blitz, and now the Challengers change it up a little bit on the defense.
Berger looking downfield. Catch is made by Vallier. So Berger lays it in there. Gets the local faithful fired up.
Yeah, nice 17-yard completion and a first down for Brookings Harbor.
So an opportunity here possibly for the Bruins to
put some points on the board before half.
3:12 to go in the first half. Berger looks to the sidelines momentarily. Kind of see a little bit of a meeting of the minds between the coaches. And
Berger tries to keep it. He's going to lose a couple of yards on that one.
Looked like kind of a read play, and then Christensen kind of looks like he's going to carry it, and Berger hangs on to it. And unfortunately, if you're a Bruins fan, no matter what they do, the results they're looking for has been few and far between.
Yeah, the Challenger defense has been very effective getting around, blocking, and making plays in the backfield, especially here in the second quarter. They've had several running plays now in a row for losses, as that Challenger defense is being very aggressive here to end the half.
First and 14 after the loss of 4 on the play. And right there, Brendan Van Wart pushing him back. Some good penetration by that Challenger defense. See a little bit of Turi there as well.
And a couple more yards lost on that play.
And also in for the Challengers, making an appearance, there's Ezra Padilla.
So the Brookings Harbor now negative yards rushing on the ball game, -4 so far. 22 yards through the air. So we're seeing just, you talked about a little bit, we talked about a little bit driving over how dominating the defense has been for Cascade Christian. You're certainly seeing it in this football game.
3rd and 17, and a procedure call against the Bruins. So we'll walk this one off, and now it'll bring up a 3rd down and 22. And I tell you,
I told you that hawk was going to show up.
You're like, don't you all be messing with my nest.
Yeah, no kidding.
Third and 22. Berger dropping back and dropping him to the turf with the sack. Bryson Jackson.
And Jackson, no one touched him off the edge. And I tell you what, he was darting to the football. And a really nice play. And Berger with nowhere to go on that one. Loses 10 and brings up 4th down now for the Bruins.
He was like a midnight train to Georgia.
He was, man. Great tackle, too, in space, at speed, and it looks like the Bruins are probably just going to try and let this run out for the half. And I'm sure the Challengers are fine with that as well. And that will do it.
So it is halftime. The Cascade Christian Challengers on your John L. Scott scoreboard lead in the ball game, 42-0. Today's halftime report ahead is brought to you by the Medford Parks and Recreation Department. The Fall Recreation Guide is out. Did you know it's full of classes and activities for our friends 55 and older? Visit playmedford.com or visit 774-2400 to find out more. We'll pause for messages, and then after a 2-minute break, we'll be back with our halftime report. Challengers lead in this one, 42-0. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
See it on national TV all the time. They tell us that funerals can average between $7,000 and $10,000. At Conger Morris, a full-service funeral, including a wooden casket, is only $4,900. We can keep our prices lower because we're local. In fact, we're the only locally owned, family-run, full-service funeral and cremation provider in the Valley. Call us today to schedule an appointment for personalized assistance with our caring staff. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
return yards on kickoffs.
Oof.
20, 30, 40.
What do you do when you get into a car accident and want to know your rights? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
It's Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Gladiator 4x4s or test drive a new 22 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. During Jeep Adventure Days, you'll save big on every new vehicle in stock only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
So what do you do when you get injured on the job and need to know your rights with workers' compensation? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Cody Sample, point after attempt. He was good by Hoffman to make it a 7-0 ball game. Then getting in on the ground game, Ashton Moody showing us that he doesn't just throw the ball, he can run it too. And he scored on a 6-yard touchdown one with 7:48 to go in the first. Point after attempt by Hoffman Good to make it 14-0. Then just less than a minute later, Liam Bonatti, right guard for the Challengers. He gets to see a little bit of a time in the backfield, and he ends up running it in for a 1-yard score. Point after good to make it 21-0. Then in the second quarter, Challengers get a 1-yard touchdown plunge by Kevin Ragu. Point after good to make it 28-0. Then Cole Shields gets in on the hit parade. He scores from 5 yards out. The point after good to make it 35-0. And then the icing on the cake with 3:30 to go in the second. It was a 44-yard touchdown pass from Ashton Moody to Peyton Maurer. Point after good by Hoffman to make it 42-0. And that gives us our halftime score of 42-0 Challengers. Stick around. When we get back, we'll have Mark McLemore with our halftime statistics. Challengers leading the ball game 42-0. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Jeez.
New phone?
Yeah. With US Cellular, I got to pick any phone that I wanted for free. And I was already a customer.
Any brand? With any size?
Mm-hmm. I got exactly what I wanted. It was great to have so many different options.
New and current customers can get any phone from any brand free, only at US Cellular.
New and current customers get any phone free at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive authorized agent for US Cellular. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
You find information about paying for medical treatment after a car crash? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
I just got the best deal at US Cellular. Just $29 for one line. For the first month only, right? That's how they get you. For as long as I want. Why so skeptical? I was told she'd weigh 30 pounds.
Get unlimited data for just $29 per line, even just one, only at US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Get one line for just $29 at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive US Cellular authorized agent. Visit souscellular.com for details.
So what do you do when you can't work because you were injured on the job? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
The The Medford Parks and Recreation Department invites you to discover all the great classes, field trips, activities, and sports leagues for the fall activities coming up. Visit playmedford.com to find something for everyone in the family. Jim McCoy, Mark McLemore standing by with our halftime statistics.
Yeah, well, as you would expect, based on the score, the Challengers lead at 42-0. Cascade dominating statistically in the first half. Brookings ran the ball 15 times for minus 14 yards. So that we said that Challenger defense very, very aggressive in that first half, getting lots of tackles for loss. And Brookings with negative rushing yardage in the first half. Passing the ball in the first half for the Brookings Bruins. They were 3 for 6 for 22 yards. So 22 minus 14 gives them a total of 8 yards of total offense, not counting returns in that first half. They did get 60 yards in punt and kickoff returns for a total offense of 68 yards. Penalties, the Bruins had 5 for 40 yards. And they also had 2 fumbles, one on a kickoff, if you remember right, that was muffed. And the Challengers turned into a touchdown. And another fumble on a handoff exchange between the quarterback and a receiver on a fly sweep, both of which the Challengers turned into touchdowns, as well as a turnover on downs that the Challengers also cashed in. So really rough first half for the Bruins, and the Challengers just dominating the football game in that first half. For Cascade Christian, first downs, they had 10 of them. They ran the ball 17 times for 166 yards. That's 9.8 yards per carry, so a great average, and they did a great job of running the football in the first half. Moody was 4 for 7 for 83 yards in the first half. Challengers also had 20 yards in returns. Total offense for Cascade Christian, 269 yards in the first half. The Challengers, one blemish, I would say, in that first half. They did have 4 penalties for 45 yards. That's much more than we've seen them have so far in the football games they've played. So you've got to watch the penalties in the second half. And, the Challengers just dominated this game. I mean, the statistics, the score, every way. And it's just one of those games where, now you have to endure the second half a little bit if you're the Challengers. We'll see how many opportunities some of the younger guys get. But remember, there is a quarter restriction on, and I'm sure they've got a JV game coming up on
Monday. That's right.
That's one of those things you got to watch as a coach as well. So we'll see how the second half goes. It looks like Challengers in a great position, as they have been all season at halftime.
Absolutely. Thanks to our sponsors for powering our live high school athletic streams, including our title sponsor, Lithia Superstore Jeep Dodge Chrysler. Visit lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride. Also, thank you to our presenting sponsor, Siskiyou Cellular of Southern Oregon, with 7 locations to serve you. On the other side of this break, as we get ready for the second half, we'll kind of look down the road a little bit at some action coming up, and then also give you a little bit of a quick report on how some of our other Challenger athletic teams have fared. It has been a good week for Challenger sports, and we'll be back with more of that for you right after these messages.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherm's are proud to be part of your community.
We have thousands of customers in our stores every day, and our checkers know a lot of them on a first-name basis. They tend to enjoy what they do, and they love it, so it reflects in how they treat the customer.
If you live anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a Sherm's store near you. We hope to see you soon.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
Fuel up for your race day adventures with Pinnacle 365. Hit for your early morning caffeine fix to help you get off to a good start and be rewarded with free motivation. Stay hydrated as you ride into Turn 2. And if fountain drinks are your thing, get your 6th free. Add Crunch to your lunch as you head into Turn 3. Fuel up for the remainder of the race with your Peak Rewards app and save at least 16 cents a gallon. Your daily journey to the winner's circle starts at Pinnacle 365.
Who are they playing?
I'm not sure.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind, or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore. So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
It's Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Gladiator 4x4s or test drive a new 22 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. During Jeep Adventure Days, you'll save big on every new vehicle in stock only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
That can be poison sometimes.
Yeah, I can.
This halftime report is brought to you by PlayMedford.com, where you can learn more about Discovery Preschool for 3-year-olds and day camps for older kids. Registration for fall is happening now. Sign up at PlayMedford.com or call the Santos Center at 774-2400 to get started. Of course, week in, week out on Table Rock Sports, we bring you the Cascade Christian Challengers in action. Their next opponent will be, I think we will see maybe perhaps at least the best test that the Challengers have had so far this season when they take on a team that did they win the 2A finals last year? Okay, Coquille.
They played in it, and I believe they won it last year. Coquille did. And either runners-up or won it. I can't remember exactly which. But they were definitely played in the championship game last year. I do believe they did lose, some of their core guys on their team, but so far they've been doing well in the league as well, and I would expect them to be, as you said, the best team the Challengers have played to date as we play them next Friday night. So far tonight, the Challengers have dominated this football game as they have the first two that they've played so far, and I don't know what else you can say, and seem to have been getting better. I mean, we're not seeing any real mistakes except for a few penalties tonight, and so I'm hopeful that they can. The problem with these kind of games is it's hard to keep the players' level of intensity elevated when you're leading 42-0 at half. So we'll see how they come out here in the second half.
So we mentioned Coquille coming up next week, and then in 2 weeks, Challengers will be on the road up at North Valley, who's playing in our ranks this year. And then on the week following, then they'll be back at homecoming. So you might want to mark this coming up. It is going to be the Challengers coming up. The homecoming, we're looking at that coming up on October 7th. So looking forward to that as it comes up down the road. And we also do a lot of special things for alumni. But talking about other Challenger sports, like I said, the Challengers with success in girls soccer this week, 1 up, 1 down. They played a very good Sutherland team that beat them 7-0, but they turned around and played Coquille yesterday. Emma Coates got a hat trick with 3 goals, and Autumn Murray added 2 more as the Challengers won that match by a score of 5-2. And then last night, it was the second straight set victory for the Challenger volleyball team as they were winners last night against North Valley, and they were winners against Brookings Harbor on Tuesday night. So it's been a good fall, and again, you always love to see. We've got 40 guys out for football, 21 out for girls soccer. Then we've got for volleyball, Rob Klecker's got a fully stocked varsity and JV team, and then also some results from cross country. We had a full team that went out and competed in the Fugate Farms meet over here on the coast on Tuesday. So those are always some fun things to report along the way.
And Spiritual Foundation Week as well at
yes, it
high
has
school.
Been. Great week, not just a day, but a full week of activities. As a matter of fact, you see Brody out on the field. His dad, Ryan Sample from Mountain Church, was his worship team came out and led out our Tuesday chapel. Then we also had a one-day youth conference yesterday at the school, and we had a couple special speakers. from a ministry team called One Real Day. And we also had visitors come and join us from New Hope Christian in Grants Pass, and also New Life Christian. They traveled up to Medford from Fortuna, California.
Oh, nice.
So, it was a really great week all the way around the Cascade campus. And then today we kind of finished it off with a day of service, going out and serving other people. And some of those activities included going out and helping with the teen shelter Hearts with a Mission.
Well, and I always love that they do that they start the year out with those activities, getting the foundation for the year, set in their minds, and they come up usually with a mission statement for the year of what they're trying to accomplish as a school. And, you just love to see the kids getting involved in that and then making sure that they're really grounded in the Lord to start the year.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, this year's theme is determined by ASB, which is our student government team. It was fully alive from John 1:10, which Jesus says, I came to bring life and life more abundantly. And so a great week, a great beginning of the school year. Love the students I got in my broadcasting class, and then some of these kids that I get to see on a daily basis out here competing on the football field. And it's good to be back to school fully going again, and going out and getting a chance to go out and do things like play football on Friday nights.
Yeah, always fun to get, and to have somewhat of a normal school year,
right?
Normal start to the school year, which has been unusual with the coronavirus the last couple of years. So look forward to the start of this second half. The Challengers should be kicking, I believe, to start the second half. And we'll see Mason Hoffman, whose leg is probably getting a bit worn out after all those extra point kicks and kickoffs in the first half. I believe coming out to kick off to Brookings Harbor. We'll see if I haven't really announced if they're going to be doing the running clock here in the second half, but we'll see how that goes as well. And it's always nice to come over to the coast. It is a little bit cooler over here, especially after the sun went down. I think it's now in the 50s over here on the coast. So if you're looking for an opportunity to get out of the valley and get out of the smoke and enjoy some cooler weather, you can certainly come over here to Brookings and do that.
And this public service announcement brought to you by the Brookings Harbor
Chamber
Chamber of Commerce.
There you go.
Your check's in the mail, Mark.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, as a matter of fact, as you say, 57 degrees right now. Very pleasant evening, and starting to see signs of real fall beginning to set in. And if there was any doubt that it was football season before, it's become abundantly clear by now.
Well, and the Cave of Wonders is getting more and more looking like the Cave of Wonders here as the sun has gone down and it's dark over there, And so I like it.
David Alvarez getting that in the camera shot. And meanwhile, it is actually the Challengers getting ready to receive the second half kick.
I forgot. Did we kick off? I guess we did kick off, huh? To start the game. Seems like we received, but hey, I guess the officials are getting it right.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are.
Well, they didn't ask us.
No. No.
I get a feeling they won't. So the Challengers wait to receive the kickoff. Berger trying a little onside kick action. And
it did not go 10 yards.
It probably, I was going to say, looked like it might have went about 4.
Somebody's got to throw a flag here because that did not go 10 yards. The Challengers will get the football at the Bruins 45-yard line. So that's one thing, that also different when you're on the grass than on the turf. You try to do an onside kick, and that ball can bounce just about anywhere it wants to go based on, how you kick it and what kind of turf it hits and clumps of grass and everything else. And that one, it took right off toward the sideline and did not even get close to going the 10 yards that it needs to. So the Challengers will just take the ball where the Bruins downed it in great field position on the Bruin 45-yard line.
So the Challengers start out in fine fashion for the second half, leading in the ball game, 42-0. Moody going to take off and run with it. He has nothing but open path ahead of him. He outruns the posse, and it's a Challenger touchdown on the first play from scrimmage. of the second half.
Yeah, 45 yards on the scamper by Moody, and another Challenger touchdown here to start the second half.
Ashton Moody makes it a 48-0 ball game. So in addition to his touchdown pass to Peyton Maurer, he has 2 via the ground game tonight. Tyler Almacy will hold. Kicking it is Mason Hoffman. The kick is up, and it is good. 49-0 your score here from Brookings. The Challengers lead the Bruins. We'll be back after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Dear Dad, today was hard. You know how much I love you, and you know how much I love sports. I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love to play, and I love my team. I want us both to enjoy the game, win or lose. But we can't if you always lose your temper. I hope you can cheer for me and the other players. It's about more than just the score. It's about us all enjoying the experience. I hope you can join me for my next game. I really want you to be there. Love, Katie.
Offsides again.
Makes you wonder a little bit about that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Make sure a visit to Tap Rock Northwest Bar and Grill on the banks of the Rogue River is included on your next trip to Grants Pass. First-class food and a new menu awaits you. The gem of the Thomason Hospitality Group, Tap Rock. So the Challengers will get set to do it again.
Yeah, offsides there on the Challengers on the kickoff.
Well, what's a football game without a little bit of adventures and special teams?
Yeah, got to have that by both teams usually.
Hoffman gets the kick away. Taken at the 30-yard line. And there's Christensen. Christensen gets it up to the 40. And the Bruins will open with good field position on their first opportunity of the third quarter.
Yeah, over 200 yards on the ground now for the Challengers in this football game as Ashton Moody with that 45-yard touchdown run puts him over the 200-yard mark.
And he's definitely fattened his batting average tonight. 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Berger under center, 2-back set. We'll hand to Christensen. And it looks like a loss of a yard or two on the play. See a number 34 on the bottom of that pile, and that is none other than Brendan Van Moort.
He's been tearing it up, is what he's been doing in the first 3 games here. I think he's been in their backfield more than he's been in on our side of the field.
And Brendan, at about 5'10", 170 pounds, not the biggest linebacker you'll ever see, but he plays with a lot of ferocity.
And smarts when you watch him.
Flag on the play. And in terms of reserves in the ball game, I see Ezra Padilla out there. We saw a little bit of him on the last defensive series of the first half.
And there's a consultation, and it's decided that the Challengers are offsides. So already the Challengers with 2 penalties here to begin the third quarter, and that's one of those things, you know, that you have to kind of watch out for. You know, you don't want to be committing penalties or getting in the habit of that, but by the same token, with the score the way it is, you know, there's going to be guys that just aren't as focused as they need to be in these situations.
Well, then on top of that, then you mix some new blood into the ball game, and
no, that's true too.
Berger on the keeper. Gets away from
nice
Sample.
Move. Makes a nice move to get around Sample. Pick up a couple yards.
Well, as quarterbacks go, yeah, he can sure move.
Yeah. Not very big either, but he got some good moves.
We'll call it a 3rd down and 5 with 6:41 to go in the third. Bryson Jackson in at linebacker. Luke Wilson there in the secondary. He usually starts in the defensive backfield.
And I think the Challengers for this quarter will have most of their starters out there. And then when you get to the fourth quarter, you'll see some of the other kids coming in.
Berger under pressure. Throws toward the sideline.
Pressure that time by Bonatti for the Challengers.
And that's what you just simply call uncorking the football.
Yeah, getting rid of it, which is smart. And they did change the rule in high school. I did kind of do. Actually, Ryan Sample helped me with a little bit of research, if you saw that. I don't know if you did.
Yes.
That rule was changed in high school. So now if you're outside the tackle box and you throw the football past the line of scrimmage, you can get rid of it, like as he did right there. And the idea of that is really just to avoid injuries. Quarterbacks were hanging on to the football because they knew they didn't want the intentional grounding penalty and was causing some injuries. So that's why NHFS changed that rule to where quarterbacks can throw the football away.
Vallier getting ready to kick it.
Oh, wow, nice punt.
Gets away, a nice kick. And it goes end over end. A good play on special teams by the Brookings Harbor Bruins.
And that one's down inside the 5-yard line, so the Challengers will have a long way to go here.
So good resilience by Vallier, the punter. You may recall his first punt of the evening, he had it blocked. And sometimes I can give you the yips the rest of the evening, but a great play on special teams by Brookings Harbor.
I think that was Jordan Hatcher down there for the Bruins making that play. And now the Challengers have a long way to go from their own 2-yard line, it looks like, or 3-yard line.
The Challengers back deep in their own territory. Have not seen this position in the evening. The Bruins, you know them. They'd love to get a stop right here and maybe get some points to show for their effort tonight. Challengers out of the gun.
Moody's going to keep it. You get a couple of yards, it looks like.
You know what, Mark? I think that might be Scaglione in the game.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you're right.
So Caleb Scaglione into the ball game. Well, we've seen a little bit of him in relief under these circumstances throughout the game.
Suspecting that he's playing a little bit of quarterback on the JV team.
He and Derek Farmer. And running with the football, once again, getting to the outside, Scaglione. You know, Mark, I just get a feeling that with he and Farmer, and I believe they're just right about the same age, that we might be seeing a guy whose real future someday might be at running back.
Yeah, that's true.
The kid can scoop.
So on the first down for the Challengers there on the 8-yard pickup by Scaglione.
We'll get that cleared for you right there. 1st and 10 for the Challengers from their own 13. And then to the outside they go. Way outside toward the Dylan Westlake with the carry for Cascade Christian.
And nice job by Dylan. Picks up about 12 yards on the play.
Dylan Westlake, a junior. Of course, you've seen a little bit of him in the Challenger JV program for basketball.
Yeah, really nice kid. Love to see him getting a little playing time here. Fly sweep action for 12 yards.
First and 10, and sometimes, again, when you get a fresh batch of guys excited to play, sometimes the whistle blows and the laundry comes out.
And that's exactly what happened there. And I think there's going to be a false start penalty on the Challengers.
And wearing number 33 in as a wideout is Jaden Dykes.
Well, actually, no. It looks like they just didn't have the chain set on the sideline, so they just blew the play dead until they get the chain set. So now they're going to get going, I think, because it's still first and 10 for the Challengers.
So Dykes split wide to the right, flag on the play, and just a whole lot of
I don't know what happened there.
Pinball happening out there. And the
illegal motion against the Challengers. Well, that's weird. It looked like they lost 5 yards, and then they took another 5-yard penalty. I don't know what's going on now, Jim. Because if you take the penalty, it should be from the line of scrimmage.
Right.
And it looks like it's further than 5 yards, so I'm not sure what's going on down there. But at this point, I don't think it matters.
Scaglione dropping back, rolling to his right, looking downfield. There to try to haul it in. Carson Willard falls incomplete.
Oh, man, Carson was open there. Good throw by Scaglione. Just couldn't quite get it. Just over his head.
Carson Willard seeing some action this evening. 5'6", 130-pound sophomore. A guy you'll see out playing some baseball in the spring. And also some basketball in the winter. And the siren sounds, and that will end the third quarter of play. At the end of 3, Cascade Christian leads in the ball game, 49-0. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
Start of the fourth quarter. Challengers, after that last play, find themselves now in a 3rd and deep. Yeah. I see him, Mark. I see him.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for a period. The games have begun. It is time for the Challenger Victory Cigar. Number 4, Kellen Klecker into the ball game. Split out wide to the left. Now we got to give him a good, there we go. We're going to give him some camera love here. Willard in motion, moving over to the right side. Scaglione rolling out, looking down. Field pass is caught. First down, Challengers. Making that catch is Luke Wilson.
Yeah, 25 yards on the reception. Nice throw by Scaglione down the field that time. And Wilson with a good adjustment to the ball and picks up a Challenger first down.
Well, it always amazes me when you talk about athleticism is a quarterback who can run that fast and still get off a good throw.
Yes, absolutely. That was a good throw down the field. His receiver opened, made a nice adjustment to the football and came back to it.
On first down, they'll go ahead and hand the ball to Westlake. Westlake makes a nice cut. Flag on the play, however.
Yeah, we're going to have an illegal block on the Challengers. They're racking up the penalties here in this football game.
So we see some substitutions in along that offensive line. Bryson Jackson into the ball game. Also, Luke Ryder on the offensive line, along with Zach Cook, 245-pound sophomore wearing number 74. Samuel Seiss into the ball game. So these are some of the guys that are, if you will, they're in training, because we've got a lot of offensive linemen to replace after this year.
Yes, absolutely. And right now we see that Challengers 1st and 15 after the penalty.
Scaglione to Padilla. Looks like he should get some of those back, maybe about a pickup of 3 yards on the play.
Clock running, Challengers up 49-0 with 3 minutes. Or, excuse me, that clock is right behind the goalpost. I think it's 9 minutes and 3 seconds.
It burned me in the first half. So I take consolation in the fact I'm not the only one that's made that mistake.
Yeah.
Split wide to the left is Klecker. Slot man on his side is Dylan Westlake. Dylan goes in motion. He'll do a little fly sweep and keeps his feet barreling ahead.
Yeah, picks up about 10 yards. Nice run by Dylan.
Athletic kid. Whatever he lacks in size, he makes up in a whole lot of different ways.
Yeah. Very good defender. We're definitely going to get his chances on defense, and little point guard action for him, I would imagine, this season, both on the JV and the varsity.
Tenacious. 3rd down and 4 for the Challengers.
And what do we got? Timeout? What's going on? We got something. What? Oh, equipment? Oh, there's somebody's coming off the field for an equipment issue, I would imagine.
Scaglione out.
Yeah, equipment issue with one of the Bruins, and so.
All right, so Scaglione quickly returns from the sideline. Dropping back, Scaglione now rolling to his left. And he's going to go ahead and take off with it. And he does a great job of picking up some yardage and works his way down to about the 31-yard line.
Yeah, nice job. Picks up about 15 yards and a first down for the Challengers. Challengers continuing to move the football down the field with the second group out there. Challengers over 250 yards on the ground now tonight, as they've pretty much moved it at will on the ground against this Bruins defense.
Challengers 4 receiver set. Padilla the lone setback. Willard in motion. Now Padilla. Oh yeah. Yeah.
There is a flag on that play.
That did not look good.
No, it did not. I hate to see it.
That would be, from this set of eyes, the very definition of unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a personal foul. I think for a face mask. Oh, they're going to pick the flag up? Seriously? What is up with that?
I'd love to know what the decision was made on that. Because I'll just tell you, I don't agree with it.
Well, and it's this point in the game where, again, it doesn't really matter, right?
Nope. And there, climbing the golden ladder, Westlake. He'll scamper up the sideline.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Challengers.
31 yards to Dylan Westlake. There you go. If you don't like the call, just play football and score a touchdown. How about that?
Well, that's one way to settle the issue. Dylan Westlake jumping up, making the catch, and that's one of his real positives is his leaping ability.
Yeah, he can definitely get up for a guy that's not very tall.
So he makes it a 55-0 ball game. Mason Hoffman there to attempt the point after.
I thought I was going to jinx him if I said something, so I didn't say anything. And he's made 8 in a row now.
So now your score with 4:41 left to go in the ball game. The Challengers lead this one 56-0. We'll be right back after these messages.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Come enjoy the patio weather and a brand new menu at Tap Rock Northwest Grill, where friends and family gather and memories are made. Come visit us today or visit our website.
Challengers getting ready to kick it away. 4:41 to go in the ball game. Dylan Westlake scoring a varsity touchdown for the Challengers. Little helter-skelter on the field. And we also see a flag out there.
Yeah, that's a block in the back against the Bruins. That one's going to go back from there. 4:24 to go. Clock running here in the fourth quarter. Challengers lead 56-0, and it has been total domination, Jim. I don't know how else you say that in this particular football game. So it's just been, a great opportunity for the Challenge to really show you what they can do, and they've done it from the very beginning.
So we get some fresh faces in there defensively. We do see one starter out there, Matt Moses, and I also see Liam Benatti, but in there with them playing linebacker spots. We see Luke Ryder in the ball game along with Mason Hoffman.
And Luke Wilson, I think, is over there at one of the corners as well. And a timeout called by Brookings. Interesting. Okay.
Yes. 3:39 left to go on the ball game. And we will take a quick timeout and be right back after these messages.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of.
Last play, Bruins going to the ground game. There to make a stop for the Challengers is Bryson Jackson. Checking in along the defensive line, 74 is Zach Cook. Also in the ball game is Jack Nips. Ordinarily see him as a starter on the offensive unit as a tackle.
One of those players that won't be leaving after this year.
Yes.
One of the few line guys.
A little bit of a low snap. We get the pass away. Looking in the direction of Tristan Long.
That's intended for number 16, Tristan Long, incomplete.
And that falls incomplete. Clock continues to run with 2:36 left to go in the ball game. Coming up after the end of the ball game, we'll have the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's Know Your Role post-game show. We'll give you all the final stats on the evening. And the scoring for the night, which if you're a Challenger fan, there was plenty of it.
Cameron Christensen with a gain of a few hard yards. 4th down and 5.
Callan Christensen putting up a good fight for Brookings here late in the ball game, struggling ahead.
For about 5 yards, and Brookings still in the negative yardage on the ball game. Cameron Ragu hobbling out a bit. Not a good sign for Cascade Christian. Hopefully he's
no.
Just nicked up a little bit and nothing major. Hopefully.
Nothing that maybe a little bit of ice and heat can't fix. Tyler Almacy will check in for him. 4th down and 5. Berger rolling out to his left. Shows off some of his speed.
And a flag comes in. There's been a lot of laundry in this game, I must have said.
There has been.
And I'm not sure if that was a late hit out of bounds. It could have been on the Challengers.
Berger once again showing off his ability to.
Looks like he picked up about 3 yards, and then I'm not sure what the result of the flag is going to be. He did not get the first down, but I suspect that the flag is going to give them the first down. We'll see here.
Well, correct you are. Penalty against Cascade Christian.
That flag is against
Targeting? Is that what they called?
1st down for the Bruins.
Looked like a targeting call.
Yeah.
No, they've got first downs.
But not many.
Not many. By my count, that's their 4th. 2 of them by penalty.
Well, we talk a lot, Mark, about what this team does offensively, but once again tonight, the defense has shown up big. Final play of the ball game. Berger's just going to let this one air out. Coming back toward the ball, almost picking it off, is Christopher Freilich. And that will end the ball game. Cascade Christian now 3-0 on the season with their victory over the Brookings Harbor Bruins. Your final score, 56-0. We'll take a quick time out, and then when we return, we'll be back with the Know Your Role postgame show here on TableRockSports.net.
Nancy heard the victory cigar.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Enjoy the patio weather and a brand new menu at Tap Rock Northwest Road, where friends and family gather and memories are made. Come visit us today or visit our website.
Welcome back to the Okay, there we go. I think somebody got a little excited in the press box and
unplugged us.
Yes. It's like, no, you're not going to get rid of us that easy. So let's recap the scoring on the game. I'll get there right here. And it goes something like this. All challengers all the time this evening. 56-0 victory. First touchdown scored. Less than 3 minutes of the ball game. Brody Sample scoring on a 3-yard run. Point after good.